Dublin's 98 Lowdown, giving you the lowdown on movies.
Elaine, congratulations on When Did You Last See Your Father? How did you get on? How did you feel about it last night?
Oh God, I was really nervous last night. I mean, I was really excited to be home and all my family were going to see it. My sister and her husband had come over to London on Sunday for the premiere, but my other sister was watching it, and my dad and my mum and my auntie and my cousin and my friends. And I mean, because I had to introduce the film, and I mean, it's so much easier if you've got like thousands and thousands of strangers. That's fine. But when there's people you know, I was just really nervous introducing it, and I think it was quite heightened, you know, because it was a special night. It was just it was also lovely to come home for work. Since I moved to London, I haven't like filmed at home and stuff, and you know, before that it was always like, oh, I hope we're filming like somewhere really exotic or you know, just anywhere, and now it's the opposite. It's like, I just want to film at home in Ireland
in the rain. So for anybody who's planning on going to see the film, tell us a little bit what it's about.
Okay, well, I think it's a gorgeous film. I highly recommend it. It's based on Blake Morrison's life. He's written a book of the same title, And When Did You Last See Your Father? So Liz Carlson, the producer of the film, she read the book, loved it, wanted to make it as a film. Then her husband, Stephen Woolley, who does all Neil Jordan films, he got on board as well. And then Blake Morrison co-wrote the script, his first ever screenplay, with David Nichols. And I mean, I think that was really the calling card for this film, because the script was so strong, just so powerful. I mean, and it's so rare to see a script of such quality, and I mean, it just shows that the people that it attracted. And Anne Tucker, who directed, who also did Shop Girl and Hilary and Jackie, just did such a beautiful job. And as my sister's husband said at the end when he saw it, he was like very moved and was like, I think he did too good a job, because he found it very, very moving. And then, you know, the actors were just to be a part of such a wonderful and you know, special project was such an honour, you know, in whatever shape or form I wanted to be involved with it. So fundamentally it's a story about Blake Morrison and his dad, and you know, as I'm sure we all know, there's no such thing as a normal family. So that's probably part of the charm, that it's not like a kind of 2.4, you know, it's not a normal, you know, well, nothing is normal, so it is a normal family, you know what I mean? There's always skeletons, and you know.
It's all about Blake Morrison, who's about 40, and he's basically looking back on his childhood and kind of the memories, reflecting on the memories he had with his dad, leading up to the weeks when his dad is actually going to die. He's got a terminal disease. It must have been very kind of moving for yourself, and a very kind of emotionally draining to be on a set that had such a strong storyline.
Well, the thing is that what always came through in the script was the comedy, and it seemed, and that was one of the things I loved about it, because it doesn't indulge in self-pity, or it shies away from sentimentality, and that's where I think the audience suffer, because they're the ones that end up being put through the ringer. And in order for these people, you know, when traumatic things happen in life, I found in my experience that the way to get through that is through humour and comedy. You know what I mean? And it's like, because even like at one of my granddad's funeral, like, we were all cracking jokes, and it was like a nervous reaction on how you get through it. You know what I mean? And because otherwise you just crumble, you know. And that's what I loved about it. I was like, oh my God, because sometimes you forget about things, and it just really highlighted that's how you get through difficult things that happen in your life. So it wasn't depressing to be on set. And also, I mean, you know, because I play character Sandra, and you know, and she's quite feisty, and you know, she's a fun character. I mean, you know, and then because she goes through her own life, and she's always been kind of a close friend to the family, but you know, and she's kind of there as support for Blake's character, but also she was very close to Arthur, the dad, and you know, so obviously she's going through her grief, but because the story is about Blake, you know what I mean, she has to be strong for him. So
there's some really good actors in there. We've got Colin Firth, who plays Blake. That must have been tough, having to kiss him.
Well, I think actually he kisses me.
Oh, right.
Technically. Yeah, well, I mean, you know, to be honest, like, I mean, because that was the challenge for me of having to age a character from the age of 18 to 4 years older than Colin Firth's character.
Did that kind of scare you?
Well, I mean, the thing is, I knew I wouldn't have taken on the job if I didn't think I was able to do it, and I was confident and I knew I could, but it was, you know, it was something that I suppose it was the biggest concern, if there were any concerns, you know what I mean, and so I suppose I was probably more focused on the performance rather than the kiss, you know, and the scene, and you know, and it was lovely to work, because I got to work with him and Jim and Juliet and Matthew Beard, who plays the younger Colin Firth, so it was really nice to have different scenes with all of the, you know what I mean, which
Jim Broadbent, brilliant actor. I mean, we know him, I probably know him best from one of my favourite movies, Bridget Jones, playing Bridget's dad. In this movie, he really irritates his son because he's quite the embarrassing dad. Like, at the beginning of the movie, we see him stuck in a traffic jam, and what does he do? He decides that he's going to cut through all the traffic, and he blags his way into a car race, pretends he's a VIP and manages to get in, and he's quite an embarrassing kind of guy, and his poor teenage son and his children, mortified. Were you ever embarrassed by anything that your family did like that?
Oh God, there have to be moments. I'm sure there are. I don't think to the extent of Arthur, Jim Broadbent's character, but I think that would be quite hard. Do you know what I mean? To top. I mean, that's what's so humorous about the film, is that, like, he's got kind of nerves of steel, or he's just so unaware.